I'm Alan Spears with Occupy Democrats, and in some truly stunning breaking news, we have just received a massive bombshell of an update from the prosecution with their hunt for justice in the school shooting that occurred in North Georgia just the other day. To catch you up to speed if you have somehow missed out on this horrific and tragic story, a 14-year-old boy from North Georgia named Colt Gray took an AR-style gun to his school just the other day and killed 4 individuals and injured many, many more. Over the past 24 hours, there's been a lot of different questions and confusion as to how this 14-year-old boy had access to such a deadly weapon, and we are just now starting to get some of the details. Tragically, this country has been subjected to an increasing number of mass and school shootings, and while there are those that say that many of these people that commit such horrible crimes do not have any warning signs or indications that might prelude horrific acts such as a school shooting, that is simply not the case in this instance. Unfortunately, more than a year ago, tips about online posts threatening a school shooting led Georgia police to interview a then 13-year-old boy, this of course being Colt Gray. But investigators didn't have enough evidence for an arrest. On Wednesday, that same boy opened fire at his high school in North Georgia. The suspect, Colt Gray, has been charged as an adult in the deaths of Appalachia High School students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo, both 14, and instructors Richard Aspinwall, 39, and Christina Irami, 53. Additionally, 9 other people, 8 students, and 1 teacher were injured and rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, they have been receiving treatment and are expected to recover. It's important to remember that Georgia prohibits minors from owning guns, but has few restrictions for adults who wish to carry firearms. Under both state and federal law, the teen would not have been legally allowed to buy a handgun, rifle, or shotgun. According to the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, individuals must be at least 18 years old to purchase handguns in Georgia, while federal law sets the same minimum age for buying shotguns and rifles, according to the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It is important to remember, too, that Georgia is ranked number 46 in gun law strength, similar to Montana and Idaho, meaning it is far easier to purchase a firearm in Georgia than the vast majority of this country. Now, this story is horrifically tragic and our hearts go out to the family, but this is not just a tragic accident that could have been prevented, as we have just learned. This was an act of negligence. Now, this does bring us into our breaking story today, as we have just learned that the father of Colt Gray, the shooter, Colin Gray, he actually bought this weapon for his son as a holiday gift. Colin Gray told investigators this week he bought the 14-year-old the AR-15 style rifle used in the fatal shooting as a Christmas present in December of last year. Now, it is important to remember, too, that this firearm was purchased after the FBI got a tip back in May of last year about online threats of a school shooting from Colt. They traced the threats to Georgia and forwarded the information to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, which interviewed the Gray family. Colin Gray said he kept hunting guns in the house, but that Colt did not have unsupervised access to them. Colt, meanwhile, denied making the online threats. Police notified local schools, and no probable cause for an arrest was found at the time, according to the FBI. Now, that fact alone is absolutely horrific, but we do have another breaking update for you with regards to this story. The father of Colt Gray, again, Colin Gray, has been arrested in connection with the shooting at Appalachia High School, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He has been charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Now, this is just a very small step on the path to justice, and nothing will ever be able to bring back those that were lost, but at the very least, justice is being served to this negligent father. This is also the exact sort of thing we can continue to expect if dangerous individuals like Colt Gray have unchecked access to firearms. The fact that Colin Gray allowed his son to have access to firearms and even purchased a firearm for him as a gift after the FBI investigated him for dangerous and violent threats is unbelievable. It is also incredibly important to remember that these deaths have resulted in the fact that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a representative from Georgia, have been staunchly against common sense gun laws. Now, if there is any semblance of a silver lining in this story, it's that the 9 individuals that were injured during the school shooting are stable and recovering, some of which have actually already been released from the hospital. But until our leaders grow a spine and do what is necessary to enforce common sense gun laws, more events like this are unfortunately probably going to happen. How many tragedies are we going to have to endure? How many children are going to have to die before something changes?